back to Deep College Thoughts. Today's episode we're gonna get started with you want to say the word that you were trying to say? You know.
Bye. It's called vernacular.
I call it college slang.
Well, it's slang, but it's like, you know how AAVE is like African American vernacular or whatever in English?
I've never heard about that.
That's just like code switching, kind of. So like when you code switch and you talk in AAVE. Never mind. Anyways, guys, today we're going to talk about college slang. You want to start?
I'll start with my. I don't know which one I want to start. We're gonna start with cramming, I guess. Cramming is basically doing everything last minute before an exam or an assignment that has a deadline. So you know when 11:59 matters. Kayla, you know.
Yeah, when I was studying for my exams in the library that night. Yeah.
So yeah.
The next one is pulling an all-nighter. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's like when you stay up all night to study or complete assignments. It's commonly seen during midterm season and end of the
Exam
semester.
week.
The exam week, yeah.
Yeah. The next one is a frat or a sorority. Short term for like fraternities. For men is a fraternity, and then for women it's a sorority, and that's basically like AKAs, deltas. I don't know all of them, but betas, yeah,
sigma,
all of that good stuff.
The next one is RA, and that stands for resident assistant or advisor. It's basically the person who's been assigned to your dorm on your side or on your floor, who you'll go to if you need assistance with anything. It can be like roommate problems, like you need help with something in your class, you can ask them something, or if you need help accessing something. I know like we have parlors and like games in the parlors, so the RAs, they have like duties. So when whoever's on duty, you'll go up to them and ask them. It's like you can check out a game or something.
Yeah. Then we have academic probation, which is basically, I guess, I don't want to use that definition, but basically you like failed more than you're supposed to on your classes, or you didn't do so well. So like they're giving you one more chance in the next semester, but you're on probation academically, basically.
And academic probation here, it's different for every university, but academic probation here is when your GPA falls below a 2.0, which is why they normally say C's get degrees. And that's because a C is 2.0, but like not a C minus, because I think that's a 1.7. So as long as you get a C, you'll be above academic probation within good standing. The next one is lecture halls, and it's basically just a big classroom. It seats about 150 to 200 people.
It's like an auditorium, kind of.
And it's like, kind of envision that you're at a concert and you're looking down, like in a basketball game. You're looking down at like the players, and the instructor is the player, I guess.
Yeah.
They're just lecturing.
The star of the show.
There's like a big screen, that pulls down that they have their PowerPoint on or whatever.
Yeah. The last one is dropping/adding classes, which is basically withdrawing or enrolling to different courses, which you have, I guess it's different at every college campus, but you basically have like certain weeks to drop and add and withdraw without failing the class. So, I think, Kayla, you should answer first.
Okay, so this question is, what is burnout? And burnout is basically when, and it's not just in school, it's when you've done something for so long that you start to get tired of it because you're stuck in the same, like, I guess, perpetual cycle, like repetitive motion. And it happens to a lot of college students. So
yeah, I would have to say that, like, it's like when your whole body is drained of like everything and everyone, and like you're just tired, but it's not that you're like you want to go to sleep tired. It's just that you're tired of everything. You don't know what to do. You're overwhelmed with a whole bunch of stuff. So you're also like stressed out, but you just have no motivation to at least start somewhere.
It's like needing a break. Like you desperately need a break.
So the cause of a burnout or causes of a burnout, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you have no motivation at all. You literally, I feel like people can burn you out, um, relationships, friendships, um, family. It's just a lot of things that's draining you, um, or causing you too much stress to be overthinking and overwhelmed.
I think the two biggest causes of burnout for college students would be work and schoolwork. Especially if you like once you get your schedule for classes, you know that's going to be that way for a couple of months or like 4 months. Um, and so trying to work on top of that and constantly getting no break, because the only good break that we only have fall semester is what, winter break, like Christmas break.
Yeah, because Thanksgiving is just 3 days.
Yeah, it's just 3 days. Fall break was like 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get burnout in those time periods. So signs and symptoms of burnout. Well, for me, it's like I kind of start tweaking a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. Like everything will make me irritated. Somebody will text me and be like, "Oh, I hope you had a great day," and I'm like, "You know what? No, I had a terrible day. Forget you. Why would you say that you hope I had a great day? You don't even know me." Like I genuinely start tweaking. Like it's not their fault.
Me when I text you good morning.
But
I'll text you good morning. You're just like,
what do you want?
what do you want?
No, what do you want?
I'm like, I was just trying to be nice.
Yeah. But it could be anything like overeating, undereating, not going to class,
Distancing yourself.
calling out,
I'm trying to think. There's a lot of kind of like,
It's like stress.
yeah,
Yeah.
or depression.
Yeah.
It's kind of goes hand in hand, But I guess that's really all to it. So how do burnouts impact your mental health?
Well, I said I started tweaking.
It literally impacts your mood. Where then you kind of start like not being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you have basically like a mood swing kind of in a way, but you don't do the normal things you would normally do, where like you kind of turn into a whole different person, or you could fall into depression. I feel like you kind of just fall into depression, like this starts the like starting signs of depression kind of, where you start to like distance yourself. You don't want to be around people. You want to be alone. You don't want to do anything because you're not motivated. So it's kind of like depression. It goes hand on hand. But yeah, I would say that.
I also think that burnout sparks like fight or flight in people. So like you either get irritable and you're like, no, I'm pushing all like I'm not doing anything. You start arguing with people, arguing with your professors. Because I have seen some people argue with their professors, and I think it was burnout. Some people are like, oh no, they were just crazy. No, I think that they were tired.
Yeah.
I think that they were tired. And then there's the flight aspect where you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Can't do it. So you just get up and leave.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Support systems to have when you have a burnout. Anybody that really supports you, anyone that's going to listen to you, anyone that's not, how do I put this into words? that's not gonna like push you away. Like somebody that's actually gonna be there, listen, support you, understand what you're going through, and not just be like, okay, well, what now?
And I think it's good to have like your parents support or like even your friends from high school support when you have burnout. But if you can get like a friend that you have in college who's going through the same thing as you, they might, it doesn't even have to be the same major, but if they know what experiencing burnout feels like, then I feel like that's the best person to talk to. Like, I know I could talk to Jody about it. I mean, I could talk to my mom about it because I'm obviously she's been through burnout. But like, Jody knows what I'm talking about because she's living in it. She's living through it right now. So she could be like, "Hey, man, I get it. Like, this is what you need to do. This, and this." Or like, even if I don't want advice, I know she's gonna be there to listen.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like, I feel like when you have a burnout, you don't really want like a solution or answers. You kind of just want to be there in the moment and have somebody there to understand what you're going through. But yeah, like if it's a school burnout, I'll go to Kayla just because we're both going through the same thing right now. Like we're both first generation students. We both have a lot of pressure put on us and a lot of pressure that we're putting on ourselves. So it's like we both understand what our burnout would look like. But I would say also to have an adult just to get like a different perspective, or a therapist, counseling, somebody that's like a stranger that doesn't know you. Just because getting a stranger's point of view where like it's a stranger, but like a counselor or therapist that doesn't really, not gonna pick your side emotionally and give you different points of views.
They're unbiased.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a better better understanding and lookout.
So the next one is personal stories and experiences with having burnout.
So I think I can talk about first semester.
We could all talk about first semester.
So what did happen first semester?
Guys, terms that we use like tweaking, fighting demons. Obviously, we're not actually tweaking or fighting demons, but I feel like we're gonna start talking about personal stories, and those terms are gonna come up a lot. So
Yeah.
tweaking, to preference, tweaking means like, 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 dude, like. How
I
would
don't
you
know how to
It's
explain
like,
it.
dude, like you're tweaking. Like you can't sit still. You have so much to do, but you need to sit still because you want to do it, but like you're not. Like you're up. You're kind of pacing around. It's like genuinely tweaking.
It's like,
But also, it's a mental state.
but I also feel like it's like kind of like ADHD, where like you can't
Yeah.
stay still. Like
Yeah.
your mind is just running. You have anxiety. You have ADHD. Like a whole bunch of things are going through your head, physically, mentally, emotionally. Like you need to sit down somewhere.
Literally, and fighting demons is fighting demons. Like you have so much to do. You don't know where to start. Life is kicking your butt. You
No.
know, like,
You want to know what I
you
think
get
about?
no sleep. Like no peace when you sleep.
Yeah. Every time you say fighting demons, you remember when I went to the museum for the first time
Mm-hmm.
and I sent you a picture of that art piece on the wall and I was like, Kayla, is this what your demons look like? And you were like, yeah, last night.
Literally, dude. Out here fighting demons.
I would say probably the first month into college, I was burnt out. Just because, yeah.
Sorry.
I'm really thinking back and it was really the first month.
Okay.
And it was before that accident happened where you had to go save me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So let's just say, being a first generation student, I feel like that's when all the burnout stuff starts to really happen. You have a lot of pressure put on you for being a first generation student that nobody understands except for other first generation students. And then you have the pressure that you put on yourself because you're a first generation student, which makes it even 10 times worse, which I am learning that I need to stop doing.
Me too, dude. I was tweaking right before this. I was like sitting in that little space. I started tweaking. I think the girl across from me knew. I was like, dude, why can I?
It's literally like you have opened the doors for your little cousins, your little siblings, everybody in your family that's younger than you, and you're like, I don't want to mess this up. Like, I genuinely do not want to fuck this up. And it's because you have set a bar so high, at least for me being the first one to graduate high school and walk the stage, and it's not like a GED where like you get your high school diploma, but it's a GED where like I actually finished it. I actually walked the stage. And it's like, for me at least, having all my cousins and family there, like, I set the bar that like every single one of them now has to walk that stage. And now it's like I made it to a university. Now all of them, if they want to, have to go to a university if they choose to. Where it's like, okay, if I mess up, are they gonna mess up? Or is it that I'm messing up and I'm gonna end things right now and that's it? So it's like, it's always having that, I guess, fear, you could say, where like, oh, if I mess it up, it's done for. Like, they're not gonna figure it out. They're not gonna learn from me. They're not gonna, like, it's done for. I didn't set the bar high and I'm a failure. Like, I mess things up. Where I'm starting to finally understand that, like, if I do mess something up, I have to at least sit down and talk to them and be like, hey, like, I did this and I learned from it. Maybe you shouldn't do this. Like, learn from my mistakes. Don't go through the same thing I went through and learn from it. But it was the first month of college where I was like, all of my classes, I was passing A's and B's. But it was just the pressure of my family FaceTiming me every single day, me FaceTiming them every single day. And it was just like the questions of, oh, how's college? How's class? How's your life? How's living in a dorm? Da 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 da. And it was just a keep on going and axing and just giving into it, where I didn't set a boundary to be like, hey, this is my life. I'm 18. I can do whatever I want. And you need to kind of back away, where like I was literally losing my mind because I felt like, oh, if I didn't answer the call or if I didn't talk to them, I was being disrespectful. Where you have to learn to set boundaries with everybody. But yeah, it's just setting boundaries. And I feel like setting boundaries with yourself, because you are your worst enemy. And, you know, you're your worst demon when you be fighting those demons. So, Caleb, story time. Go ahead.
I think my
It's when you went home
can't
after
even say it.
Thanksgiving.
Well, no, that was the result of extreme burnout.
Oh.
I think I got burnt out because I've genuinely never had a break in my entire life. And that's okay because I did it myself. I mean, I guess COVID was the break that everybody really needed, but it wasn't really a break, no.
That was a no break. That was fighting demons.
And I've literally, since, I think, 7th grade, every week I tell myself, if you can just make it until the weekend, if you can just make it until the weekend. I've been saying that for 7 years.
7?
When was I in 7th grade?
5 years ago?
6. I've been saying it for 6 years.
Oh, 6 years ago.
I've been saying it for 6 years. So I think that I'm always trying to put too much on myself. Like, there's never been a summer where I haven't taken summer classes. There's never been a school year where I haven't loaded up my schedule. And that's okay because now now that I'm here, I genuinely like what I do. But I think that when I got here first semester, first of all, I was here by myself for a week. So I was like, nobody's here. I was like, is this what the campus is like? But I was trying to convince myself that it wasn't, that I had just done early move-in. So, but I think the real burnout came near the middle of the semester. I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. And I still came to class, but I went home. I'm not gonna lie, I packed up and I went home.
She left me all alone.
Okay, guys.
You did. You packed up your stuff.
I did. I'm not even alone.
You were gone a week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, never came back.
And you
Just
never came back.
never came back. Yeah.
I looked at your location. Oh, she's on campus. I got out of class. Kayla, you want to go get dinner? I'm home. What? What? What do you mean you're home?
Yeah.
She was like, I was just going for class. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you know. But,
And then you came back.
I think this year, this semester, I haven't been as burnt out because I genuinely like what I do. Have I gone home a lot? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we've both gone home a lot.
Yeah, I haven't stayed a weekend here.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was trying to get at is me experiencing burnout in the first semester and me experiencing burnout in the second semester are two completely different things. In the first semester, I think that I had a lot going on, a lot that I wasn't telling people, and that's fine. And so I just felt like, okay, I have to retreat. And now I'm like, I don't really experience burnout as much because I put myself in like this schedule, I guess. Like, okay, you got to do what you got to do, but you also have to give your time for self-care. Like, whether that's going to sleep, it's always going to sleep, or going home. I just have to incorporate some of those things.
That's what happens when you be fighting those demons.
Yeah, all the time. Always fighting demons.
Anyways, back to what we were talking about. What is peer pressure? There's good, there's bad. I guess we're just gonna have to talk about it. Have you ever been peer pressured?
Yeah, by Jody.
Oh,
But I think, you know,
Kayla. Kayla.
I think Johnny's peer pressure is good. Because I feel like I was peer pressured into doing the podcast a little bit because I was nervous. Like,
What do you mean that peer pressure you into doing the podcast?
I was anxious. I didn't tell you.
What?
I was anxious.
Well, the emotions are on the table now. Continue.
I was anxious, dude. I was like, damn, I don't know. I can't.
Kayla, I literally asked you and tried to reassure you like every single day.
I know, and I wasn't gonna let you down. What? Does that sound like something I would do?
You could have let me down. You could have been like, no.
But I feel like this has been so good. Like, I love doing this. Not like I feel like I know. I know I love doing this. You know, I love, well, sometimes editing the podcast can be a pain. But that's just because I have to watch it so many times. And that's okay because you know what? I get on here and I do what I love and I love it. So I think that's like good peer pressure. Not wanting to let somebody down. Well, that can also be bad.
Yeah.
But it was good in this case. And she didn't even pressure me. She just asked me to do it. And then I felt pressured. See, I put a chip in my brain.
Kayla. I feel like I didn't peer pressure you.
No. She didn't, cuz.
Yes, I did. I just asked you a whole bunch of times, which I felt like that's when it went bad peer pressure, and that's when you were like, I really can't let her down now because
I would have done it either way. Like if you would have just asked me once, you would have asked me twice, 50 times. I would have done it either way.
Yeah, we've literally been planning for this podcast since August, and it started in January. So what is that? 4 or 5 months until it started. That's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like that.
Wow. Okay, so good peer pressure is basically when Kayla pushes me to go to class.
Yeah.
And bad peer pressure is when,
Well, anytime anybody pushes you to do something that you don't want to do,
yeah.
or something that, well, it's not even something that you don't want to do, because if it's something that you don't want to do and it's for your benefit, then that's okay. But if it's something that you don't want to do and it's not for your benefit, or you know it's going to lead you down a bad road, that is negative peer pressure.
Yeah. And I feel like in college you have alcohol, for example. Alcohol is all over college campus.
And alcohol used to be the biggest thing, but now, I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's drugs. It's Adderall.
Oh.
Okay? And I'm gonna tell you why it's Adderall. because that's ADHD meds.
Yep.
And for a lot of people, it helps them stay up longer, so they can
take it for the all-nighter.
Yep, so they can pull the all-nighter. And so I think, as bad as alcohol is, I'm not going to say there's been a decline in alcohol because I don't know the statistics, but I know that it's not, like we said in the last episode, it's not as like, ooh, everybody's drinking, because everybody's not drinking. But a lot of people are doing good.
Yeah.
Types of peer pressure. We just talked about this.
Yeah, kind of. Alcohol, drugs. I feel like we're naming all the bad ones.
Good peer pressure. Pushing you to go to class. Pushing you not to drop out.
Basically, like, your positive support system is like
Yeah.
a good peer pressure when
If
they want you
you're-
to keep going.
Yeah, if you're afraid to ask for like an extension on something, and your friend's like, well, the worst they can say is no. Good peer pressure.
Yeah. What's next? Social media and how it influenced being peer pressure. We can sit here for a minute because
I don't know, cause.
what you mean you don't know? Did I start drinking? Did I start drinking? At least I can sit here and say a lot.
Me too, though.
Back in middle no.
No.
Let's not start there.
God. Let's go back to the woo.
Back in high school, social media had a big impact in my life.
Yeah.
I had to delete it and get off of it until I started the podcast back in August. So I was off of social media since beginning sophomore year. So sophomore year, junior year, senior year, I didn't have social media, and I just got it back my first year of college. So that's about 3.5, almost 4 years. What starts to happen, and I can actually talk about this because I know people, and I was starting to do it myself. You start to look at the social media lifestyle, and that's what you want in life. So then you start acting like these people on social media, and you turn into a whole different person. And for those people out there that say, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. As a person that surrounded herself with a lot of bad influence children, because we were all children at the time, you legit turn into your group of friends. I don't remember the saying, but my Uncle Jay, I love him, has always told me the people you hang around is the people you become in life, and those are the people that you should watch your surroundings. Because let's say I hang around a whole bunch of alcoholics, I'm gonna turn into an alcoholic, and that's what I'm gonna be for the rest of my life because I hang around those people. So who you hang around becomes you and what you do in life. So that's what basically social media is. People that you hang around on social media, people that you surround yourself with on social media is basically what you're going to become and what you're going to do in life because you don't know what's right from wrong.
I agree. There's so many people who are idolized, like influencers are idolized on social media. My mama always told me, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. So don't. So if you're gonna be hanging around dogs, don't be surprised when you get the fleas. Like it's always so ironic when people are like, look at me, I have to suffer the consequences of my actions. You knew what you were doing.
You knew what you were doing.
You knew what you were doing, and we can argue all day, like, oh, we were children. Yeah, we were children. We still knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
By the time you hit like 5 years old, you know the difference between right and wrong, especially like on a severe scale. Like, you know, yes, it's okay for me to do this, and no, it's not okay for me to do this. And if you have to ask yourself, is me doing this okay? It is probably not okay for you to be doing it. Okay. But I feel like social media didn't influence me personally too much coming through high school because I didn't care about none of them people. Like, I did not care about any of those people. So I was just kind of doing my own thing, but I definitely can say that I have seen it affect people and how they view themselves and how some people get eating disorders and how some people do all this, and just cut the phone off. Like, cut the
Yeah.
phone off. And I'll never understand why I might one day. Like, why people let internet influencers whose lives seem great on the surface, they might not be that great, and like dictate everything that you do in your life.
It's also like the more money you get, the more problems you're gonna have.
Literally.
Because you think money will solve all my problems. Maybe money will solve all my financial problems.
Oh, but here comes Uncle Joey who needs $5,000. You haven't seen him in 5 years. So,
You know, and then it's like, oh, money changed you. You never would have acted this way if you didn't get rich.
literally.
You know, more money, more problems. I also believe that money doesn't solve everything.
They don't.
Just like these people on social media with a whole bunch of money, whole bunch of drugs, whole bunch of alcohol, popping bottles in the club,
And no real friends.
and no real friends.
What Drake say? I don't even like Drake.
No
But
new
what,
friends.
What Drake say?
No new friends. So it's like you're literally either gonna be all alone, depressed, suicidal, or you're gonna be what you would call a nobody in life, but you actually matter to like 5 people. So,
And it's never really made sense to me. Why would you want to be famous anyway? Well, not why would you want to be famous, but why would you want to be one of those influencers? Because people will build you up, get you to the top, and tear you down. I've seen it happen with people on this campus. And you know who I'm talking about. With people on this campus. Like, oh, they'll make you a big celebrity. Like, oh my God, you're doing so good. Yes, girl, go, girl. Like, blah, 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 blah. And then you reach a point and they're like, oh. Is she trying to act better than me? She thinks she's better than me? Oh, she's not better than me? Then they start going through your Twitter. Okay, your Twitter from 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
When it was okay for white people to say the N-word. And now you're stuck.
You know, it also happens in real life. Kevin Hart, didn't he have to apologize for something he said like 10, 15 years ago?
Right.
Just so that he can do the awards, and he said nope.
Right.
So it's like...
And it's not like it was okay for white people to say the N-word back then, but people were more socially acceptable to it. But I don't know. It's crazy because people will build you up
just to tear you
just
down.
to tear you down.
People will
Just
hype
to
you
tear
up
you down.
for you to be at your peak.
And I've seen it happen.
Mind you, it's always that person that you think is your ride or die.
Literally.
Nothing's ever going to take y'all apart.
Yep.
That person that you think is your ride or die will drag you down. And drag you so far down where they take your spot. So yeah, don't believe everything you see on social media. Don't get peer pressured by social media. Don't get peer pressured to do drugs or alcohol or anything, or even have sex with somebody,
Yeah.
because that also happens.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Don't do it.
Don't fall for it. Random questions.
Woo.
Okay, what has been the most surprising or unexpected thing you've learned since starting college?
I think. Dang, that's a nice question. I was gonna say like that's like because there's so many things that come to mind.
Right.
I think it's the friend groups on campus. We're like, okay, Kayla's really gonna come for me because the northerner in me is really about to come out. Story time. Up north, wherever you see a whole bunch of group of people, everybody's mixed. There's no like this clique, and this clique. Everybody's mixed. There's no little cliques, groups, nothing like that. Like maybe when it comes to like family, but like nothing like that. So moving down south, I realized that black people are over here, whites are over there, and the Hispanics are over here. Me, I didn't know where to fit in because up north, I was hanging out with everybody. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody was hanging out with everybody. There was no problems. Over here, down south.
Still very much segregated.
Yeah. They say it's diverse. No, it's not. So I was thinking like, oh, going to college is going to be like back up north, back at home, like, oh, everything's gonna go back to the way it was. I got on campus and I seen, oh, this little clique, this little clique, this little clique. We're still down south. So I was really surprised by it just because I thought it would be different and people would be different, but no, still the south.
But it's been sociologically proven that people hang out with like their own race and stuff like that. You know, like people who are more like them.
Yeah.
Which is why acquaintances are the people who are most likely to commit a crime against you or murder you.
True. But I don't know. I just feel like it's really different, and it was really like, I guess moving down south was kind of really hard to fit in. And then like I thought, oh, college, I'm gonna be able to fit in. I'm gonna hang out with everybody. We're all gonna like get along or whatever. But then it's like I still don't fit in, so I never want to choose a clique or a group.
Right.
So I just stay to myself, or I stay with Kayla.
And I can imagine that would be difficult. Not to stay with me because I'm awesome. But to go from where everything's integrated to like where everything's more segregated, because down here, I'm not gonna lie, you could ask somebody the difference between a Mexican and a Hispanic and they're gonna say they're the same thing. So take that with what you will. So I don't really.
Well,
I guess the most surprising thing that I've learned.
wait. And also, if you ever say, "Oh no, I'm Puerto Rican," and somebody answers, "Where is that in Mexico?" Walk away. Just walk away. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. I've had some crazy stuff happen. Like, I mean, I know I'm not good with geography, and this is a surprising thing, but somebody told me that they were going to LaGuardia. And they were like, dude, I've never been to Mexico. I'm so excited to go to LaGuardia. And for those of you who don't know, LaGuardia is in New York. That really shocked me. Now, I know I'm not good with geography, okay? But I have never once said, like, are you not going to fact check? Wait, my biggest thing is, did you get a ticket to LaGuardia? Because you're going to be, doesn't it say New York on the ticket? Wouldn't it say, like, LaGuardia, New York or something like that?
Yeah, because it has to say the state or
So,
the
like,
country, you know?
So, my thing is...
That's like taking a flight from here to Los Angeles. It's going to say Los Angeles, California.
And you're going to know that you don't need a passport or anything like that.
Exactly. Because it's always the city and then the state or the country.
So, I guess, even
Educate
though
yourself.
our school has a high acceptance rate, I guess how, I don't want to say stupid because that's insensitive, but I guess how,
No, you can say stupid.
geographically unaware some of these people are. Now, I know I'm not the best at geography, and I keep saying that because I know a lot of these people who are going to watch this know that I'm not the best at geography.
Mm-hmm.
But I have never once said I'm going to LaGuardia and thought I was going to New York. I mean, thought I was going to Mexico and said I'm going to New York. So, yeah.
The second question. What is a memorable or funny experience you have had during the time at college that you would like to share? I'm trying to think. Oh.
Bye. Literally that.
If you know, you know.
There was one time I fell while we were walking to the calf. That was pretty funny.
Oh.
Wasn't funny then, but it's funny now.
It was raining outside too. That was funny.
Here's a memorable time. When we used to go sit on the tennis court and stuff.
Yeah, in our PJs.
Yep.
What else? Riding the bus.
Going to sit at the fountain.
Yeah. Dang.
But I guess the most memorable, and because it's like the first time that I ever spoke to Jody, really, was when we went to the top of one of the parking decks and we just kind of talked because we were
That was the
supposed
first
to
day I
be
met you.
at some
Some little group thing.
group.
Yeah, some little group thing. We were supposed to go. We had like.
And we wasn't really fitting in with the
No.
whole, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we were very much the little oddball. And then everybody in the group left us.
Yeah, they were like,
it was
oh, we're
just
gonna
me.
go.
It was just me and Kayla, and we were like, the sun was setting, and what I used to do, I should probably start doing again. I used to go to the deck, the parking deck, and I would go all the way to the top, and I would see the sunset from the baseball field, but at the parking deck. And I was like, Kayla, you know, we should go.
Right.
And that's when we had a deep conversation, and that's when we became friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, third question.
Okay. What is a goal you have for yourself when you're done with college?
To get a job and to move to a whole different state that I know nobody that lives there, to be away from people.
Does college mean our undergrad or our college completely?
Oh,
Because
I
when I'm
forgot
done
about
with
that.
undergrad, I don't want to get my master's because no, I'm just gonna go straight into a PhD. So
Oh, so when I'm done with my undergrad, I'm getting a master's. And then after my master's, I want to move to like the West Coast and start a job over there and live over there.
So I guess like a goal that I have for myself when I'm done, like after my PhD, I don't know. I don't think I still want to live in North Carolina, so I'll probably move out. Definitely not to the West Coast, but
The UK.
well, that was when I was doing history, so I don't know if I still want to move to the UK.
Oh.
But I kind of don't want to live in America. But that's a whole different topic, bro.
Anyways.
But I don't know. Go be a sociologist somewhere. Okay, that's my goal. Or take over the world.
Oh.
Quote of the day.
Quote of the day. Every college student knows the importance of 11:59 p.m. And that goes with our burnouts, like we were talking about earlier. You know what it's like. And as soon as 12 a.m. hits, when that assignment or exam or whatever the case may be, it gets locked and they don't let you turn it in late, that's when you know. It's due at 11:59. Start working on it earlier than 11:50.
If it's due at 11:59 and you started working on it at 11:50, you've already given up hope.
Yeah.
Why did you even start working on it?
Yeah, what was the point? What was
Especially those people who try and write papers in like an hour. Yeah, maybe you can write a 3-page paper in an hour,
I can't.
but don't. Okay? Give yourself 3 hours.
Song of the day. See, now I get this song stuck in my head.
I don't have the Spotify app on my iPad.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. Okay, mine is "It Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube.
Mine is "Please, Please, Please" by the Smiths. I love the Smiths.
And now, okay, Caleb.
Sorry.
Don't miss out on all the fun, laughter, and wisdom. Subscribe to Deep College Thoughts on YouTube. And don't forget to put your mama on.
Put your mama on.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, all at Deep College Thoughts. Don't forget to follow our personals. Mine is Jotty.2real.
Mine is Kayla_Mo with 4 E's.
And until next time,
Bye.